I was like, am I hearing through my headphones or is that through my computer? Oh, my hair's all wacky today. I kind of like it.
It looks cool. Hey, we're rolling.
Your hair's kind of wacky too
My
today.
my hair, my hair's growing out. Finally, I'm like, I think I'm gonna grow it out again, but we'll see.
It's a difficult and never-ending conversation. I actually just cut my hair, as you can
Oh,
tell. That's why it's all wacky.
hey, what do you got behind the scenes, rolling?
Yes.
What do you got behind the scenes for the Maha stuff? Because Stu and I had a conversation
Mm-hmm.
on my coaching call with him.
Mm-hmm.
You guys don't know I coach with Stu Bernson, founder of Chiro One, who's been amazing for my growth.
Yay.
Um, he's just fucking awesome. Ah, shit. Ugh! I swear we're gonna blot those out. I got one swear word on one of our episodes.
Words are going to slip. We just can't make it deliberate.
We're not getting raunchy. And so, anyways, listen. Um, and
Speaking
obviously,
of lessons learned, let me interlude real quick.
yeah,
Next week, my friend is coming on, Chrissy and Chris Welsh. That's her married name. Remember, she
yeah,
wrote a book
yeah,
and
yeah.
she learned some lessons.
Oh, this will be great. This will be great. So Stu is like, hey, anything you can do to pump and push out. And I had an idea, and I haven't talked to him yet, so I'm openly talking about this. But before I talk about that, what do you know behind the scenes about why we should support this movement and donate to the MAHA thing as chiropractors or people in chiropractic? What's your elevator pitch?
I mean, the time is now.
Yeah,
That's literally all there is to it. We've never had so many players in the game at such a high level
yeah,
of influence,
yeah,
and that's why we have to support it. It's still a grassroots thing. It's still volunteers that are actually doing all the work. All the orchestrators and masterminds. These are people giving their time.
yeah.
And so but they need money because, right, you gotta, it takes money to lobby or whatever. I don't know if that's what they're doing is lobbying. I can't say those kind of words, but like I do know that it costs money to,
Yeah.
dare I say, get shit done, right? So that's why.
And
And
there's a
also,
precipice for time, right? Because Stu told me like there's a lot of big things coming up really shortly.
is why the time is now, right?
Yeah,
There's this big ICA thing going on. I don't know. I think it's even beyond that, frankly. Like, just the natural health perspective into, dare I say, our government on another level, right? We have to get our feet into it. We got to get our toes wet. We got to get in there more. And honestly, we have to quit fighting with each other. Okay, so yesterday was the National Day of Prayer. Did you know that, newfound Christian?
I didn't know that.
Yes, I have to tell you something that this guy, he is the CEO of the Foundation of Christian Athletes. I think that's what it's called,
Cool.
FCA. And he had a really good message. I'm going to share it with you. I'm going to share it with everybody. We need an uncommon unity, an uncommon faith, and an uncommon effort to get what we want. Does that make sense? We can't keep doing what we've been doing. We can't be infighting and all this stuff. We need to, that's why Maha is so great too, right? Like, honestly, it's also a way to go beyond us, right? We're helping to step in that next level. And I can tell you that there are players in the game that are putting chiropractic at the forefront.
Yeah.
There may be an uncommon leader, which is also associated with it. I don't remember which passage of the Bible he was saying, but it was, they're talking about this group of people are bringing their injured friend, their sick friend, to Jesus for healing, and Jesus forgives and heals them. And never once in the story are any of these people named. But what did they have? They had an uncommon faith, they had an uncommon leader, they had an uncommon unity, and they made an uncommon effort, and they were able to achieve their greatest goal. So I don't know, I thought it was pretty awesome, and I think
Well,
that's what
that,
we
thank
need in
you,
chiropractic.
that dude. Thank you for sharing that. Well, I
And
want
I
to
think
just
that this is one of those things because Maha is uncommon. No, thank God for Kennedy coming out and just being like, yo, we are sick, we're diseased, what we're being fed is not true, it's not right. We got to change it. So right now, this faith is changing, this belief is changing, this effort is changing. Feed that effort.
yeah. I want to do something to promote it and help raise money and my idea is I think we need to do something in our profession like the ice bucket challenge from years and years ago.
Oh my God.
Missed the ice bucket challenge.
Yeah, but people like getting ice bucketed,
Well, maybe
but
we
in the
bring back the
opposite
ice
way where
bucket.
they jump in.
I was actually thinking it's the get check challenge, and I was gonna
The what
the
challenge?
get check challenge, where I was
Oh.
thinking of rolling it out, going to get adjusted, and recording me getting adjusted, and calling out 5 other people to go get checked and get adjusted, and then for this promotion of the MAHA movement and raising donations. I don't know, but I got super excited when Stu said, "Hey, can you help?" When I'm challenged with something, it's like, well, let's get creative with it, right? And let's do
Right.
something to make a movement out of it ourselves. And I didn't want to do something that tied it. I like that you referenced like the food stuff. And when I went to ChatGPT, and it was like, oh, do something with food, and I'm like, but I want to keep it Cairo, I want to, and what's the best thing anyways? And regardless, we should be challenging everyone. I know chiropractors that don't get adjusted regularly, so
It's true.
so maybe we'll roll that out.
Get checked.
Okay, so we got a
Chickity
guest next.
check, check, baby, check.
We
One,
got we got
two.
we
Check,
got
baby, check, baby. 1, 2, 3,
interview next
4.
week. Today I'm doing a webinar with Joe Sass on EAP programs in chiropractic. That's another big thing that
What's EAP?
that's the employee assistance programs for chiropractors. So this is the corporate outreach, and wow, is this market just really really growing? And Joe is he's so amazing at it. He's been and he shares his story. He's like, this is it. Like, Facebook ads don't work for me in St. Louis. He'll say Google ads don't work, and I've worked with him for years, and I'm like, yeah, you're in a hard market to crack, for the Atlanta, St. Louis, anywhere there's schools, because I don't know, you guys just don't want to leave the motherland, right? So you stay around where and it's even interesting, people that move. Like, I always find it funny, like all the Italian, New Jersey, New York people that moved to Georgia to go to Life, who stuck around. They fell in love with it, right? They loved that area, and but you're in that area. It's crazy. I don't want to call it competitive, but saturated, right? I mean, I'm not wrong. So you got to do different things to stand out. And one of the biggest things right now is corporate wellness and EAP programs. And Joe's been doing this for years, working with corporations. He can get 16 patients a month to 16 new patients a week. There's times he's booked out 4 times a week for workshops, talks, screenings, and all this stuff. It's his life. So we're bringing him on to share about that. So that will be today. You guys will be hearing this recording. You probably can ask for it or whatever. So what else has been going on in your world? We've been plagued with the. I guess there's a new variant out there, so we're getting ready to get locked down. I heard. Never have it. There's man. It's something on. It's on a cruise ship. You haven't heard about this? Did I lose you?
We got bumped.
Hold on. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, but you're still. I'm still
It says
recording.
live to
Are you,
me. Does that mean record? There's 2 red buttons on, maybe.
are we live?
We're live.
I
Oh
don't
my
think we're
God,
live,
we
but
are
we're
live
recording.
right now. I'm
That'd
live.
be scary. So you haven't heard about this cruise ship thing with the Hantavirus outbreak?
Yeah. I mean, okay, you know what's
So
funny? I thought about this. When I bought my building that I practice out of, when we opened up the walls
wait, you bought your building? I didn't know that. That was
and we did a
smart.
lot of construction, we gutted that thing almost, like 3/4 of it. It was quite the project. Either way, uh, lots of mouse feces fell out of the walls. Like I'm talking avalanches, avalanches. There was so much mouse poop in the walls. Like had been falling through the walls. Like who knows how long. Anyway, I never got hantavirus. I'm just saying
What's going on?
that we're live.
Is
You know
it
what happened?
is
It
it
said
keep
that it
going?
stopped recording and then I hit refresh.
You're good.
Well, it says, I mean, we're on,
Okay.
but I don't know if we're recording or
Yeah.
if we're also
Yeah,
live,
it's
I think.
recording. No, we're not live. I don't know.
It
This is
says it's
acting wonky
uploading right
today.
now.
That's normal. That's normal. Riverside's uploads on the stream. What were you saying? It got blocked out.
About hantavirus? and
Yeah.
and
So,
mouse
so
feces
the
falling out of the walls of my building like an avalanche when we
oh,
opened up the walls. And I did think about
gross.
hantavirus at the time, but I never got sick. So it's really the host, not the organism.
Well, that's what they were saying. They were saying someone on you gotta be really close to get this stuff. So I don't
And here's the
know.
thing. Here's
There's
the thing. And this is
yeah.
this is this is the way it is. So also, I were at the prayer breakfast yesterday. Of course,
Yeah.
public health comes up because we were sharing. What were we sharing? Oh, somebody had a banana muffin and they don't like banana, but they touched it and they try to get somebody else to get it. I'm like, well, this is how natural inoculation is supposed to happen. This is what God intended. We are at a prayer breakfast, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, it sounds like you might know something. I'm like, yeah, I did take public health. I did take microbiology. I was like, nothing usurps the creator, dude. Like, we have all these pathways that we're supposed, like mucus that comes out of our nose, our mouth, communication with the
Yeah.
saliva to our brain to say, hey, is this friend or foe? You know what I mean? Do I need to mount an attack? Not. Like, we're not meant to like bypass all the protective mechanisms that the creator gave us through our olfactory system, our oral system, our nose, and just, yeah, anyway. So it was really fun to have that conversation.
I hope we don't get shut down again. I didn't do too well that last
I
time
think
we
that
did
people
that.
will probably
So
speak more this time. I think that complacency is less. I think that there was a lot of complacency and fear
oh,
because we had gotten into this whole acceptance culture and people were afraid to hurt other people's feelings. I don't think people are so afraid not. I don't think people are so afraid anymore.
yeah, but I'm concerned about the MAGA crew. Since I'm now a traitor, apparently. Just because I believe in the truth, and I'm like, well, like the records speak for themselves. You know, I love what Robert Kennedy's doing. I wonder if he's in a hard spot right now because it feels like we say one thing, and then our president does another
Well, the
thing.
peasant's gonna do what he wants. I think everybody really
Yeah.
should realize that at this point.
Well, I've been talking about this with some people, and I'm like, I really feel like Vince McMahon from WWF is running everything behind the scenes because it feels very much like professional
It's
wrestling sometimes.
hilarious.
And I am a mark. And if you guys don't know what a mark means, it means you're a target for, suspended disbelief. And I feel on both sides. The emotional levels of the very woke left and the ultra MAGA right, they prey like on suspended disbelief of, and I marked out all last year. I'm like, yeah, you know what? We're gonna no wars. We're gonna do all like it's finally here. The savior's here. And then honestly, the track record for the last year and a half has been pretty shoddy.
The stock market's doing pretty good.
Yeah, well, it's doing really well for other, but here's the reality: the economy is probably the worst it's ever been. It's worse than it was under Biden. So, I mean, that's the reality.
I
Like
mean,
the
guess I
reality of the
had a
situation.
patient yesterday she's on a 2 time a week care plan right now. And she's like, I'm
She had
gonna
to do
have
that
to
one
cut.
time a week.
She's like, I can't afford. She's coming like 45 minutes to an hour away to come see me. And she's like, the gas, the blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yo, I was like, I understand. I really do actually, but I talked some sense into her. I let her know what the value she had and how she, what I just told her she'd go backwards. You just gotta let people
Do
know,
you
right? What's the value
do
stack? It's a
you
continuation.
yeah? Do you feel confident and comfortable? This is my take when that stuff comes up, and I had that thing actually come up when I was on site in Tucson a couple weeks ago, and um, this woman, she pointed to this office. They literally have a sheet for their recommendations, which I don't want to go deep into right now because that's a whole nother conversation. But she chose the lowest price psychologically of what she's going to do, and that meant bypassing some extra valuable features and benefits. And as she's doing it, she's kind of justifying and saying out loud why she's doing it, right? And so I said, hey, I'm standing right there. I go, well, you only get one life to optimize and make your healthiest, right? So, like, is there anything else that might be less important in your budget right now? And
In
like,
your
I'm not
life.
afraid to challenge. Yeah, I'm not afraid to challenge people and be like, well, what is more important than this? Because the greatest wealth is health, right? So, when you have that person that's going, hey, I get it, gas, other stuff, but we know. I mean, look, I know some very healthy people, and they're still human beings, and we're all normal human beings that have some things in our shopping carts that we could choose and say, I sacrifice this for my health. And I'm not just talking about food. I'm talking about like entertainment, other things. Like, so do you feel like you should challenge people when they're like, or guide them as an advocate and guide like a tour guide of in this world of life? What's your take?
I like the guiding concept because I don't, here's what I accept. People are going to do what they want to do. Donald Trump, best
Absolutely.
example of that. But at the same time, we have to help patients sometimes get beyond the emotion and get a little more potentially objective about it and more rational to be like, what is it that you want? Because if you do what you're telling me you want to do, you're not actually going to get what you want. So
Yeah.
do you really want to do that?
Yeah.
And
I
then they're like, no, you're right. And then they feel better about it. But it's I do Dan buys taste. I get a taste of Dan.
You get a taste of Dan? Oh, watch
Mm.
out.
And but he keeps it sparse. He doesn't let you taste him too much.
That's all you. This is all you. I just want to let you know this is all you. I'm
Okay,
not getting in
that
trouble for this one.
the taste. Hello, we're talking about C4C taste of chiropractic. I don't know where you just went with
Yeah.
that. He only has a
Okay.
monthly thing. Okay. Anyway, what was his point is that you just got to talk to people about it. You got to look them in the face and acknowledge their objection basically and talk
Yeah.
to them about it.
Yeah. No,
And then they're like, "Oh, okay, moving on."
I told this story for years, and people probably have heard it, but I think it's just a good narrative thing. I had a guy in Northeast New England area who's absolutely, I mean, for what it's worth, today's numbers PVA, very, very like 180, 200 PVA. Going back to like my dad's era is like, well, 500, 600 PVA, but okay, but high for today's standards. And during COVID, people started, hey, I'm gonna go over here, and it was interesting because he was dealing with the fact that they were leaving him. They're saying, I'm leaving you. I'm going to go to this other chiropractor because he's cheaper. And I never thought that would ever happen. But I said, hey, number one, good on you. You've empowered a patient enough to go and value chiropractic still, and they're trying to cut it down. My answer to him was, did you ever think to tell them no? And it was like, you have 180 plus visits in their lifetime with them. They've built trust and they're going to you and asking you, basically saying, what should I do without saying what should I do? And I think you have the authority to say, well, I don't think that's a good idea. Like, let me explain why. I think stopping
Absolutely.
care right now, yeah. So like stopping care, moving care, without blasting the other person. But yeah, it's been an interesting couple months with friends of mine that I actually care and love about. But I'm like, hey man, you know we can't fall down this trap of like believing what that's why I'm concerned about it. I'm actually concerned about a shutdown, Melba, because I go back in time and I go. So I was working with Roger Stone at the time of COVID, and I was kind of trying to get peek behind this is like I was asking Roger. I was like, well, what's going on with Trump? And and I had all the I guess faith in him, and I was going, well, he's getting thrown a lot of crap that no one else has been. Who else has ever dealt with what he dealt
He's
with when it
doing a
came to
lot, yeah.
COVID? And I thought he was being set up, and I thought he was being like, this was part of actually trying to derail. I go back in time and I go, look, how it was handled. He had the most control of how to handle this stuff. And I look back now and I'm like, well, it was him that actually, let this happen a lot.
You think he let the
That
lockdown
was my
happen? Wasn't that a Biden thing?
no. The lockdown started with
Did
Trump.
it?
See, that's yes. He was still the whole lot, and the whole idea was what Stone was telling me was him and Melania were going through some stuff, and that was business problems or personal problems in disguise, and she didn't want to run for office again. So he was kind of in and out that last year. You don't remember when he came back? He got COVID, and 2 days later he's like out on the White House lawn going, I'm healed. He got the shot. But this is what I go back to. Like, I look at all the big pharma stuff. I'm so happy and excited, and I know things take time. And I like what Kennedy's doing. But then I look at the other stuff, and I'm like, well, everything that was talked about, like the glyphosate or whatever, is still going on. The big pharma stuff has only gotten bigger in some cases.
Well, you know what? It's a juggernaut.
I mean,
that
at some point, are you the swamp? Are you the swamp? So
well,
I don't know.
Swamps are messy, and they can suck people in, because there's swamps and your feet get stuck, and sometimes you drown. And sometimes an alligator eats you, and maybe a python comes along, and I don't know. Other random bacteria might come and get you too. But I mean, honestly, I just feel like right now we still have 3 more years of potential.
Not a long time.
To fight. I don't know, dude.
I mean, all right.
I would like to, like they say about hope
because my fear is of Newsom. Yeah.
I have an uncommon faith in an uncommon leader, an uncommon belief, and I think we have to have an uncommon effort.
I hope everyone has an uncommon pull to join me in August 6th and 7th in 2027. Hopefully we'll be post-lock.
Is that going to be summer camp?
Summer camp. Yeah, summer camp is back.
Do I get to be the
August
MC?
6th and 7th. Yeah, we already agreed on that.
I want to make sure, because I've been saving up. Yeah. I've been saving up some lines.
It's going to be at the Tarkenton Theater in Carmel, Indiana.
Tarkenton?
We're going to get 500 people there. And so July 4th, I'm going to open up the wait list. And then August 4th, I'm going to sell the first round of tickets. Hopefully we sell out.
So what's your goal
right away
with summer camp? What do you want to present? What do you have a theme yet, or you just what are your ideas?
I if it was this year, I would have Hormozy and Jay Abraham talking about risk reversals. I don't know what the theme will be next year, but the last theme was with Patrick Bet-David. It was all about betting on yourself, which was a catalyst for me to do what I had to do in my life and bet on myself. I don't know yet. We'll see what we'll TBD on the theme. I will say we're going to do something completely different. We're going to make the audience part of the show. So I want people to know that this will be, no one's ever done anything what I envision and what I'm planning. All together
at summer camp.
There's going to be a lot of interactivity, a lot of not sitting in your seats and coming up on stage, and it's going to be a house party in some ways. So, cool.
We need a good DJ.
Well, we got a great guest next week, an author, and going to teach us about some lessons.
Speaking of bureaucracy.
Yeah, right. We got hey, support the MAHA movement. Even if we don't
listen.
Like,
big things are happening. I know it.
Yeah. I'm excited, dude. So I'm gonna try to do my best to promote. Thanks for rapping today. You guys ready? What do you do for the weekend, real quick?
I'm going to a community concert tonight, and then I need to get some plants in the ground because we're going to be going to Africa soon. I don't want them to die.
Yes.
While I'm
Beautiful.
Away. How about you?
You and my wife and all the plants and the flowers. We're going to take the weekend to chill because we're still healing up from whatever this thing is. And then next week, I'm going to close for Cairo.
Sweet.
And going to go see some people that I love and going to rock and roll. So thanks, guys. Thanks, Mo. We'll jam later, guys. Bye. Bye.